We all have our favorite players, prospects, guys that we want to see succeed, and that is what today's about. I want to go through every position, starting with the offense. We'll move to the defense tomorrow, but I want to go on offense, every single position. Who are my favorite players to watch? These are not the number one players on my board, but these are the guys that just have that it factor, and I'm rooting for them at the next level. But as always, this video specifically, get in the comment section below and let me know your favorite players to watch in this year's draft class. My favorite quarterback in this year's class is Luke Altmyer. At 6'2", 210, he does bring ideal size for the position, but you're saying, Owen, he's not flashy. What pops off the tape about him? And in that sense, nothing. But what I do want to say is I know a team can trust him. He's experienced with 5 years at the collegiate level, but I think the it factor for me that I saw from Luke Altmyer was how he played in the clutch, his poise, his ability to make consistent throw after throw. And also, again, not only does he protect the football, he puts the ball in the end zone. He had a 4 touchdown to 1 interception ratio last season for the Fighting Illini. And sure, as of right now, he looks to be a day 3 pick, maybe undrafted. But I think a guy like Luke Altmyer can go anywhere. And if there were to be another case of a Brock Purdy in this year's class, I easily see it being Mr. Altmyer because, again, he protects the football. He's very smart. He doesn't do too much. And that's why he's a top 5 to top 6 quarterback currently for me in this year's class. Now, I try and stay away from the obvious first-round guys that are projected to go in the top 10 of the draft, but the running back one is far too obvious that I can't even lie to you and come up with a different name. It's Jeremiah Love. In the 5 to 6 years that I've been scouting prospects, giving them grades, and making videos on them, Jeremiah Love is the top-rated running back. Again, I think he is the complete package. As far as size, production, averaging 7 yards per carry and 35 total touchdowns over the last 2 years is absurd. He's a top 3 player on my overall big board. I think any team that drafts him has the potential for him to be that game-changing top 5 level running back for his entire career. Just like the trajectory of a Bijan Robinson. So whether if it's the Chiefs or the Minnesota Vikings, who I had him in my last mock draft going to, he's going to be a star at the next level as long as he's healthy, and he's no doubt my favorite running back to watch. This might be my craziest take of the entire offseason in this draft process, but Chase Roberts at 6'4", 210 out of BYU is a top 5 receiver for me in this entire draft process, and that is why he's my favorite receiver to watch. He has great size. Again, like I mentioned, at 6'4", he's an ideal number 1 wide receiver size. But in the 5-6 years that I've done this, he is up there on the same level of a JSN, of a Jordan Addison, as some of the best route runners that I've seen ever coming out of college. He's been productive as well. He's had 50 or more receptions over the last 2 years. He is a true safety blanket wherever he goes at the next level. He's versatile in the fact that, unlike some of these great route runners that are smaller, Chase Roberts can play on the outside as well as in the slot. He's shifty enough to do that. I don't want to say he's going to be as great as this comparison, but he does remind me of just a taller Cooper Kupp. It shocks me, ultimately, that he is projected to be a 5th, 6th, 7th round pick in this year's class. I think he should be as early as a day 2 pick. That is how much I believe in a Chase Roberts. He's not this blow-you-away athlete, but this is a guy that I think will be steady, potentially great at the NFL level, and that's why I have him as a top 4 wide receiver. Ladies and gentlemen, I promise you, go check out his tape and come back to me. Now, unlike those players, we have a guy like Daquan Wright on our hands who has great speed. He can be a great versatile receiver at the next level, but he also is one of the best blockers in this class. The only thing I worry about is his lack of elite, number 1 go-to option tight end production at the collegiate level, as he was very productive for the last 3 years, but he didn't have those blow-you-away numbers that guys like Kenyon Sadiq or Michael Trigg had in recent years. But as far as being an athletic freak, a guy that is going to be a fun pick at the next level, that is Daquan Wright, and I am excited for any team to draft him. Hopefully it is my Cleveland Browns to replace a David Njoku. And for those that care, offensive line, I'm going to be biased, and I'm going to go with a Florida Gator, Jack Slaughter, out of Florida, like I've mentioned. He's a true center. He's had 3 to 4 years of experience, very few penalties, if at all any, over the last few years. And for a Florida organization under Billy Napier that disappointed to such a wide degree, he was one of the steady pieces that was always the great communicator up front. He was always helping out the quarterback, whoever it would be behind him. And Florida, to have the run game that they did, was simply on the back of a Jake Slaughter. So, again, that's another player like Chase Roberts. I don't understand why he is not projected to be a round two, round three pick. But hey, they could be gems down the board for teams to draft them, not really develop them because they're already ready to produce, but plug and play them, and they can get a steal of a pick down the board. So just to recap, quarterback Luke Altmaier, running back is Jeremiah Love, receiver we have Chase Roberts and or Makai Lemon, but again, I didn't want to give you a top end name. Daquan Wright at tight end and Jake Slaughter at the center position. As always, get in the comment section below and let me know your favorite offensive players to watch in this year's class. Tomorrow, we're going to cover the defense.